Previously on Splinter Cell Chaos Theory.
Oh no, Zherkezhi. That's exactly what I didn't want to see.
Zherkezhi? Is that some kind of dried meat?
He's probably the best computational theorist in the world. He worked with Morgenholt on Project Watson. Word is he's gone off his nut.
Sounds like bad guy material to me.
I have fragments of a message here from someone named Dvorak. Echelon doesn't have a file on him. Wait. That's weird.
What?
The deleted messages. They're 512 encrypted. I haven't seen 512 since Philip Masse.
I killed Masse outside several Mars.
I remember. And it's confirmed. So this is someone with access to some seriously classified information.
Zherkezhi?
That's a frightening possibility.
Great work, Fisher. Now any investigation into the robbery will only point back at the investigators.
So the Panamanian government will end up sending some innocent banker to prison?
Innocent if you don't count providing arms to revolutionaries.
Oh, right, I forgot. Bankers. Evil.
Good job, Fisher. Now the whole mission will look like a robbery. They'll never know why we were here.
Lambert, now that I'm holding 50 million bucks, I think we need to talk about that raise again.
25 cents an hour and not a penny more.
Deal. So Zherkezhi and Morgenholt are the only two people who ever saw those algorithms.
And Morgenholt is dead. And Zherkezhi is connected to a mystery guest we know nothing about.
Dvorak.
Morgenholt and Zherkezhi are geeks, not terrorists. Maybe this Dvorak is some kind of puppeteer.
No hitter, bottom of the 8th.
2-0, New York in the 8th. Akira Watanabe is on the mound. He's pure concentration, pure focus.
This is no coincidence. You're on your way to the Big Apple.
Bruce Morgenholt and Abrahim Zherkezhi were partnered together on Project Watson, the UN committee that cracked the Masse Kernels. They're the ones who discovered 512 encryption, the same encryption used in the messages you recovered at MCAS Bank. If this so-called Dvorak person has somehow gotten his hands on mass-based IW algos, we're in a world of hurt.
I've been trying to penetrate Zherkezhi's private network since we connected him to this mess. I've seen some tough network security before, and I expected Zherkezhi to have top-of-the-line tech, but this is crazy. Zherkezhi's server isn't just impenetrable or invisible, it's like looking for a shadow in a pitch-black room. It's driving me crazy.
Things are turning sour in New York. It's been 24 hours since the blackout, and no one has a clue when it might end. We've got sporadic reports of unrest all over Manhattan, but it hasn't started to spill over yet. Word coming down from above is that the National Guard will be deployed within the hour. We'll need to insert you into an alley behind a building adjacent to the target building. Watch out for civilians.
Fisher, the National Guard was deployed into Manhattan about an hour ago.
I feel safer already.
Watch your fire, Sam. Those boys aren't expecting to see you and they'll attack on sight. Do not, I repeat, do not kill any of them.
I'll be careful.
Good.
What's going on, guys? It's Snotrag, and I have more Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Chaos Theory for y'all today. We're doing the Penthouse mission on 100% stealth, expert difficulty, and we're also implementing a challenge that I have set for myself and also was kind of inspired to do by Center Strain 01. That challenge is we are implementing Ghost. We are making sure that none of the guards are disturbed in any other way other than using some slight distractions with the OCP, but we're also making sure that we are not seen. We're not here. We're doing it Sam Fisher-wise, making sure that no one gets suspicious that there is someone in the area that is not supposed to be. So as long as you just follow with the video, you should be able to get through this no problem. And I have been able to upgrade Chaos Theory a little bit by using an emulator for full screen. For people that want to use the full screen emulator, a word of warning is that it will void the use of the mouse when it comes to interacting with objects. I'll explain that. So what we're going to do is OCP the light. So the OCP will distract these guys. That's the only kind of distraction that I'm going for. So you're going to turn around and OCP this light, because the guards will see you if you don't do this, and then hurry up and then just come on in here, do a roll so that way that guard doesn't turn around and see you, and silky smooth. We're going to wait right here.
Fisher, looks like the National Guard are trying to restore the power to the building's elevator. That's probably your best way to the top.
I'll see if I can hitch a ride.
It'll be a long climb if you don't.
All we're going to do is just wait for this guard to start moving toward his toolbox, and then that's when we can go into the elevator and climb up. And then we go. Now, the emulator that I had installed and everything, it for some reason does not like it for... I don't know how to explain it. It doesn't allow me to use my mouse to interact with certain objects like elevator doors and hacking the keypads, doing hacking. So I have to use my WAS and D keys and the E key in order to do those things. Sometimes the spacebar for opening elevator doors and everything will be the correct key to use, but your mouse settings will be completely voided for those kinds of actions. All we're going to do is jump down here. We're going to wait. There is a guard that's coming here, and all we're going to do is just wait for this elevator door to close. You don't want to get too close to the door, because with the emulator that I have on, for some reason, if Sam is too close to the door will shut when you're trying to get it open, and in this section you do kind of have to hurry in terms of the guard placement and everything like that. So all you got to do is just use your thermals and you'll be able to see the guard. As soon as the guard turns around, that's when you can go ahead and open the door. So again, the emulator that I have installed will not allow me to correctly interact with the environment with the mouse anymore. It'll only allow me to use my keyboard, which is fine, but it's something that I had to adjust myself to. But on the upside, I do like the full screen capability. It makes it easier for me to capture everything and just crank out the videos a lot better now. In happier news, I actually did get Splinter Cell Double Agent working, and I also did get Splinter Cell Conviction working, so you'll be able to watch those as soon as I get to those games and crank out those videos. All we're going to do is wait for this guard to kind of do his patrol pattern again, and when he gets to a certain point about there, that's when he can move. Up here with the helicopters, when you can kind of increase your speed, you're going to want to do this pretty quick. We don't want any of the guards that are about to 86 themselves out of the helicopter to find you here, so that's why you need to do this a little fast. Take out your OCP and 86 the light.
Back on. I'm still here.
Now again, this is the PC version, so if there are any other versions out there like the HD Splinter Cell Trilogy, that sign will no longer be there.
Fisher, satellite shows you've reached Zherkezhi's building. County Clerk's office has construction permits on file for the floors below the penthouse and in the neighboring structure.
Any plans or blueprints on file?
I'll have Grim look into it, but with this blackout.
I understand. I'll see if I can dig up some plans down here.
Good idea.
We're gonna wait for this guy to turn around and then go.
Fisher, that's a hired gun if I've ever seen one.
He's no night watchman either. He's a merc. He's got the same kit as the guys who were protecting Lacerda.
This whole situation is getting uglier by the second. See if you can find out who these characters work for.
Will do.
With the challenge that I set for myself, it was very, very difficult to pull this off. Again, we want to make sure that none of the guards get suspicious of us. They can get suspicious of our distractions by taking out the lights and everything, but we don't want them to be suspicious of seeing us and then causing them to investigate the area. So here we're going to wait for these two guards to do their thing. They're going to go and talk to each other, and as soon as the guard that's going to the other one near the elevator comes back, that's when we're going to do our thing.
How much longer is this gonna take?
It'll be done when it's done.
Done when it's done? What kind of answer is that?
Hey, I got a 220 connection here at 16 amps. So you know what that kind of juice will do to you if the wires get crossed?
No.
Well, here. Press right here and find out.
No thanks.
Yeah, good thinking. Now get
So we have to
lost.
find out
It's done
who
when
these
it's
guys
done.
work for, and we can actually do that mission parameter without taking these guys out, without interrogating anybody. We do have to interrogate someone in order to find out another part of the mission, but that'll come later. As soon as this guard closest to us turns around, that's when we can OCP the light, and then we can move a little fast here because the radio will sound mask our footsteps. We're going to trail this guard ever so slightly, and then there's going to be a little filing cabinet or some sort of duct right here that we're going to hide behind. Looks like a duct. So we're just going to chill out here, and we're going to wait for him to go back to where he came. And then I'm also implementing the use of one save. So I will save only once, and we are again making sure that we are not seen by anybody. Not necessarily detected, we just don't want anybody to be suspicious that someone is here. So up here is where I use my first save, and I recommend saving for the hacking sequences, especially if you're using the emulator that I have. So again, my space bar and everything will force hack it. So in order to use this, you have to use your WASD keys, and then you also have to use the E key. For some reason it wouldn't let me hack it here, but then I realized the numbers, so then I just used W and then space bar.
Architectural plans. Interesting. Zherkezhi has a hardened panic room off of his bedroom.
I'll check it out.
Looks like he also filed plans for construction in the next building over.
The next building?
I'm no architect, but if I'm reading these plans right, both buildings are connected across a rooftop. I'll leave the relevant data on your OPSAT. Should help you navigate.
Thanks.
Fisher, Zherkezhi's cameras project an infrared beam so they can see in the dark.
If it's an infrared beam, I can see it in my night vision.
Exactly. And listen, it would help us keep tabs on Zherkezhi if we could use these cameras against him.
Gotcha. I'll try and run some taps.
Good work, Fisher. That's one camera tapped. There should be 5 more.
I'll keep my eyes open.
Now this next section up here can be a little tricky, but this is also where we can finally do the objective of finding out who these guys work for. All we're going to do is just OCP the light. That's all we're going to do.
Gotta keep my eyes wide open.
And keep in mind, the sound meter, we do have the radio on that will mask our footsteps, so we can kind of hightail it here a little bit. And when you get back to about here, you're going to want to slow down your roll. Make sure you close your doors, and you're going to want to get to this corner here and use your EEV for this part. Sometimes if you just try to eavesdrop, it'll work, but I found it works 100% of the time if you use your EEV. And then you can listen in on this conversation and get the objective done.
Hey, I don't recognize you. How long have you been with this place?
3 months. I just got transferred up from Peru. I was on the VIP detail.
This place? That's Doug Shetland's company.
I know.
Fisher, if Shetland turns out to be crooked...
If Shetland is crooked, I'll take him down myself. But I have a feeling there's more to it than that.
Could be. See if you can find out who's in charge of this protection detail. Maybe someone inside this place is playing both sides.
You got it.
Now that is going to be the next objective where we do have to interrogate someone. All we're going to do is wait for this guard to the left of us to turn around. And as soon as he does that, you should be clear to go ahead and get to the next camera. This part can be very, very tricky to get by this without anybody being suspicious that you're here. So it's all about timing. So that guy behind us should be there for a little bit. But the guard that's in the room right there, as soon as he turns around and goes down that hallway, that's when you're good to go. Be careful here though, because sometimes the guard that is in the hallway that we're going to right now will see you coming out of the vent. It just depends on your timing. So if he's all the way down there, then you're good. All we're going to do is stick up on this wall, and we're going to wait for him to come back. Very tricky to pull this off, because we have 2 guards to worry about. We have to worry about this guard coming down here, and then we have to worry about the guard that we left alone outside. So as soon as the guard starts to make his way back down toward the hallway where we have to go to, that's when you can hop up on the wall, and then you're going to stick to the wall to the right of us. So there he goes. Hop over here and stick on this wall. You're in the dark, you should be fine. But you also have to pay attention to the guard out there. He's right there. So if you time that a little inappropriately, you might have an issue here. So we got their movement patterns all kind of messed up. So he's turning around and leaving. So then that means that this guard should also be turning around here in just a second and then coming back our way. So we know the guard behind us is all the way down that hallway and he likes to just stay there outside. As soon as this guard is past us, we can slowly make our way toward the next camera. Silky smooth. I'd recommend saving here. because the guard that is in this room with us as well can be a little hit or miss to get by. All we're going to do is just wait here for just a second, make sure that that guard that's down in that hallway comes back. Now the guard outside will not see you from here, so you don't have to worry about him. You just have to worry about this guy. And as soon as he turns around and moves, that's when you need to kind of hurry up here. This should give you enough time to tap this next camera and then get into cover and wait for him to come back. We also do have to worry about that guard that's on the pillar.
Good work, Fisher. That's 4 of 6 cameras tapped.
I'll keep an eye out for the other 2.
All we're gonna do is just chill right here and wait for him to come back down the hall. So that guard to the right of us on the pillar can be a problem sometimes. That's why I recommend saving here. Because sometimes he won't see you, sometimes he will. And this next part that we're about to do, it all depends on how fast you're moving as well. Wait for the guard to turn around and start moving, and then we can go. There he goes. So this is where you want to slow your roll and make sure that you have your 5-7 equipped, because we're going to OCP, excuse me, the camera there. Move slow here. And if you stick to the left of the stairs here, the guard that's on the pillar will not see you. Just at that pace and in that kind of direction, he should not see you. There's another camera up here that we're just going to go ahead and use the OCP on. Here we can just kind of move about a little more freely. No one's going to hear you up here. And then we're going to dart down to this room over here to get some information about Dvorak.
Gotcha.
Who?
Dvorak.
Where is he?
According to this, he's in the building next door. You can get there across the rooftop through the magnetically locked doors.
How do I get through the doors?
They're not magnetically locked anymore.
Thanks for the help.
Be mindful of the beam whenever you're getting out of that room. Now up ahead, this is where we do have to interrogate someone, so switch that light off because that will be the bait that we need to get this guy.
Since before this place. Since before Bosnia.
Before Bosnia?
That guard right there
I knew
in the
that
black
connection.
is the one that we are going to interrogate.
All the time. He treats us good, we do what he says.
Yes, yes, well, he sure treats us well.
Now you know too. Now you work for him. Do what he says.
Yes, well, certainly worth my while now, isn't it?
More than worth your while. It'll keep you alive, man.
Now at the end of that conversation, what you're going to want to do is go ahead and use the split jump here, and then wait.
Who switched the lights off here?
So what he's going to do now is he's going to make his way toward that light switch, and that's when we can go up behind him and grab him.
I'm allergic to flowers. Maybe you should talk before I sneeze and accidentally cut your throat.
Oh, good. I'll tell you anything.
Good. Start with your boss. What's his name?
Nedich. Mylon Nedich. He's in charge of all our VIP protection contracts.
And how many of those under his protection has he killed in the last, say, 6 weeks?
What?
What kind of scam is he running?
I don't know about any scam. I swear.
Mylon Nedich. Echelon's got nothing. He doesn't even exist.
Well, whoever he is, he's playing both sides. We need to inform Shetland.
No can do, Sam. We can't compromise OPSEC for private interests.
Fine. If I find Nedich, it'll be less of a problem.
Admirable of you to protect your friend, but...
You said he doesn't exist. I'm just correcting a bureaucratic error.
The last camera is in this room. What you need to do is when you come into this room, you need to close the door. If you leave it open, the guard will turn around and see you. So as long as you keep that door closed, you should be fine.
Good work on the cameras, Sam. We'll have guys watching Zherkezhi 24/7.
Always happy to keep the donut dippers busy.
Silky smooth. Now to get out of here, what we're going to do is we need to wait for the guard that we left alone outside. There he is. We need to wait for him to go back the way he came. So if he turns around right there, he should be good to go. Use your OCP on this light. And then we are going to make our way back toward where we tapped the first camera. Now he's going to get suspicious of us taking out the light here temporarily.
Who switched off the lights? Something's up here.
But that's okay. We're going to use the OCP on this light as well, because sometimes the guard outside will see you if you just OCP the radio. So now that we've done this a couple of times, the guard in this room will start to get up and investigate. All we're going to do is just wait right here.
All clear.
He's going to go sit back down on the bed and we're good to go. The guard outside should be in position right about now as well. He's going to turn his back and we're good to go. Next part up here can be very difficult. It just depends on the AI and depends on how well you've been doing so far. So as soon as we open this door here, we're going to distract one of the guards out here by OCPing this light right here. Close the door. And then we're going to hop up here. Now in this section up here, you do have mines to worry about. It's just like in the original Splinter Cell. You got to wait for the green light to come up and then you can disarm it. Boom. Next, we are going to equip our SC-20K. Make sure you got your sticky cameras equipped. And we're going to launch it into this corner right here. When that guard is in the corner right here, you should be able to distract them. It didn't look like I did a good enough job because he's starting to come my way, but if you move slow, you're in the dark like that, you should be okay. Now, make sure you only do that one time. We need that camera for later, because otherwise they will destroy the camera. All we're going to do is just wait for the light to be green. So that sticky camera will come into play, so that's why we only need to do that distraction once, and I'm double checking to make sure that the camera was not destroyed. Because even if they do shoot out the sticky camera, that doesn't necessarily mean that you were detected. But to me, I'm not sure. I don't know what I would kind of set that as a challenge standpoint. I'm not quite sure. I think as long as they don't shoot out the sticky camera, that's like, hey, you know, hey, who launched this or something like that, you know? So all we're going to do is just come down here, and then we're going to initialize the stacks here for retrieving the punch cards for Dvorak. Just follow the exact pattern that I do and you should be able to do it no problem. And also you get unique dialogue if you do this as well.
Fisher, what are you doing?
I've seen these things before. This is a finite state machine.
It is?
Yeah. Looks like Dvorak is just the encoded innards of a 50-year-old scrap heap.
No wonder I couldn't hack into it.
It doesn't even speak the same language. I'm going to try and reinitialize the machine and retrieve an output stack for analysis.
Gotcha.
All right, I got the stack.
Fisher, judging by what we just saw, I think that's an infinite state machine, not a finite state machine.
What's the difference?
This one is self-referential. Each output stack is a logical instruction set that tells the machine to recurse itself and derive a more accurate set of instructions for the next execution cycle.
Fascinating. Can I go now?
Good work, Fisher. Time to make yourself scarce. Get to your primary extraction point.
On my way.
If you guys want to pause and look at these, you can go ahead and do that.
Oh, if you see Jiggers, tell him I miss him.
I love the old man. So that's it. We just completed the mission. Now we have to go all the way back to our extraction point without getting caught. So hopefully at this point, our sticky camera is still up, which is good. But here we have a bit of a situation that I wasn't really preparing for. For some reason, no matter how many times I used the distraction, the noise, the guard didn't want to go investigate. I don't know why. So if that ever happens, what you need to do here is you need to use your OCP on the computer screen in this office right here. That'll cause him to move, and then that's when you can use the sticky camera to distract him to get away from the window. See, he's not moving. So I'm freaking out. I'm like, why isn't he... I don't know what's going on. So right now I'm kind of panicking. I'm like, okay, think. And then I see the computer screen.
Typical. What's wrong now?
And just as a little bit of insurance, I just sneak on over, and we're good.
Someone's up to something. This isn't funny.
So we're just gonna chill right here. So he says someone's up to something, this isn't funny. That could be anything, really. So that is not a, you know, ding for me, I don't think. And then eventually he should say it's all clear. All we're gonna do is just wait for this guard. So there, he just gave the all clear, so he's good to go. So he should be moving back into position. When he's in a position like that and his weapon isn't raised, then that means you're doing okay. So all we gotta do is wait for this guard to go a little bit past us, and you gotta make sure that you land on the concrete here, not the gravel, otherwise they will hear you. Perfect. Sneak on over to the door and we should be good to go. Somewhat silky smooth. Very, very tough mission. This one tested me to just do the challenges and everything like that I was set for myself and everything. Very, very tough. So same thing, we're gonna OCP the light.
Damn it! What's wrong with this?
Because we do have the radio on as well, we can move a little faster here. The radio will mask our sound. And then we are pretty much going to do the same thing. We are going to do the wall and plant maneuver here to make sure that we can get back to our extraction point, no problem. So he's right there, so if he's right there, he won't see you coming out of the vent, which is good. And as soon as he goes that way, that's when you can hop over the wall. Same thing, rinse and repeat, stick onto the plant wall. And we're going to wait for an okay time to move. So right here, I'm just taking my time, making sure that I don't mess it up. We came all this way with only one save and without anybody noticing that someone was here and without being detected. So pretty sneaky, and Center Strain was the man who inspired me to kind of step up my game a little bit, so why not? So you can see all the way in the back that that guard outside is there. So we need to wait for him to turn around. So he turns around, goes back down the hall. So we gotta wait for this guy to turn around and then head back down the hall. That's when we can go. We're just gonna shadow him. And we are good to go. We're just gonna wait for him to go back down the hall before we use the OCP on the camera. Now for some reason it doesn't matter no matter what you do. Once you get to the extraction point, the guards that were repairing the elevator will see something, but we're already at the extraction point, so it's too late. So I don't count that for getting dinged for the challenge.
Am I seeing things?
And we did it. Ladies and gentlemen, we just did a very tough challenge that I set for myself. Look at that. Completed all the objectives, and we should have zeros all across the board. Even knocking that guy out for the information does not count as a knockout. So we did it 100% stealth, 0 alarms, 0 bodies found, zeros all over the board. We did that in 25 minutes 14. Not too bad. Not too bad, I do say so myself. But that's how you guys do the Penthouse mission, 100% stealth on expert difficulty. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I appreciate you very much. And also thank you guys so much for watching my Splinter Cell news / kind of proposal to Ubisoft about the Sam Fisher legacy. Keep sharing that video. Make sure it gets out there. And bottom line, make sure Ubisoft knows that fans like us, we are still here. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Stay tuned for more. And as always, stay frosty.